What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We got another local card show video, and card show season is officially here and heating up, so there's going to be a lot of more card show content and videos here in the near future. You see me starting off the show, checking the price here on a Roger Maris rookie, but starting off with some of the new content coming. Have a new camera that's going to be showing a little bit of my point of view. So this was my first time using it. There was some ups and downs with it. It definitely works well, but it's a little further zoomed out than I like, so there's not great views of the cases, so I apologize for that in advance. But this definitely gets some good interactions involved, so I'm looking forward to some of the future videos coming up. We got Nashville, Strongsville, a whole bunch of massive shows coming up, so stay tuned for those here in the near future. But you can see the show was very busy. I mean, that was the main takeaway for me. This show was packed. So this table over here, you can see, had a good mix of stuff, some vintage and modern. Had that Red Heart Mickey Mantle. The Hank Aaron was a reprint, but an autograph on it. 58 Clemente. So they had some pretty good stuff, but before I took too good of a look at it, my dad kind of came up to me. He said he had already kind of price checked everything. So where should I go?
I haven't gone up and down these aisles.
All right. So I kept it going, looking for different tables. Maybe I can find some deals. Like I said, there's not super close clips to the table, so I apologize for that. Future videos will have better table clips, but I had to stop at this table here. I caught my eye with a little bit of pre-war cards, some strip cards there that I saw were graded. They didn't have prices on them, so I kind of just kept moving. You know, if I don't have my morning coffee, which I didn't this day, and I don't see price stickers, sometimes I just keep going, so that one's on me. But I finally made it over to this gentleman's table. His name was Joe. He kind of specialized for set builders. He has a whole bunch of commons, a whole bunch of boxes of 50s and 60s commons. So you see me flipping through some of them here, just kind of checking the 52s to make sure there's no high numbers or anything like that. But after the first row or so, I wasn't seeing anything crazy in here. There was a few stars, but the stars that there were pretty rough. So I figured I would go and kind of look at his stars display. He had some of the more recognizable names laying out on the table. So after digging through about a row of the commons, which were priced pretty fairly, but I just didn't really want to pick up at the moment, I decided I'd move on, check out some of the stars he had.
What are you into? Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, it's the rookie.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a nice one. I bought it from my friend from my set, but I'm like, well, if somebody pays me, I'll sell it. But
were you firm on prices, or did you have some room if I bought a few things?
Yeah, you buy a few things. I've got some room.
Okay.
But you can tell there's some really nice cards.
Yeah, some good stuff.
The vintage stuff.
Yeah. Now, these top loaders were taped to a display, so it was a little tricky getting some of them off there, but with some help, I was able to grab a few pretty good nice cards.
That'll help you.
Yeah, I don't want to bend any of them.
Here's the thing. It looks hard, but once you get it, Clemente, Carew. All of those are the ones I bought in last week.
Okay.
So I bought that area. Okay. But those are nice mantle posts. Yeah, look at those. Those are the ones that I'll just fill in when you're done.
Okay.
Phil Rizzuto, I love. And I mean, $10 on those in action high number roses.
Yeah, rose.
So cheap.
Yeah, I forgot that was a high number.
Yeah, that's high
These
number.
are pretty tough.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, mantle. I mean.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah,
those I'm
probably it's
good
awesome,
on.
But
Then,
I've been collecting a little while.
you're not new at this?
It's not my first baseball card show.
What would you do on like this stack of stuff?
Oh boy,
there's
you're
some
serious.
good stuff in there. So
you're serious. Now, honestly, look at that. 18.
Is that 18 on that?
It's miscut, but it's maize.
Yeah.
And I don't think you and I. We've got to look. Let me show you. It really, pretty nice card. Not crease strength.
If you throw that one in for 12, get 50 on it, that'd be
How about this? 12.25.
12.25. All right, let's do it.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
We're glad to help.
All right, I'm gonna grab some cash from right over here.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
So I ended up making the deal with Joe, and I ended up actually going back to him after that and making another deal. But I stopped over here. This slab box had some vintage slabs in it. All were ISA graded, so I figured I'd at least look through them, see if there was anything that I couldn't live without in there. There's lots of stuff from the 50s in there. You see some 56s, some early Bowmans, stuff like that, but nothing crazy. There's a decent amount of commons, but I was more checking for kind of bigger stars, but you never know what you're going to find in a box like this. ISA, obviously not a super hot seller, so I wasn't super intrigued, but I mean, I figured got to at least look through, see if there's anything in there that you're interested. There's some good cards in there too, but just nothing for me, at least on that day. But we'll go ahead, check out some of the stuff I got from Joe, and it was a pretty nice lot. So the first card that really caught my attention and was one of the biggest cards of the day was this Al Kaline rookie. You heard us talking about it a little bit, but it's in pretty nice shape. I don't think there's really any major creases with it. This was the one that made me stop by the table and check out all the stuff he had. So it definitely led to a lot bigger purchase throughout the day. Most of it was 1960s, but here's a couple of the other 1950s stuff, including the other biggest card of the day, this 57 Mantle, a PSA 3 miscut. That one was pretty nice. But the majority of the pickups were from the 1960s, so there was a lot of good stuff here. Had the 60 Aaron, the 60 Mantle. That one has been trimmed pretty badly, but still a Mantle. 61 Maze, post-serial Mantle, and these were all just big names you're going to see throughout here. Really all the guys you want to look for in the 60s. Lots of Maze, Mantle, Aaron, Koufax, and a few cards from every set here, but lots of the main guys. Got a lot of Clementes. I think there was like 7 Mantle cards, 7 Clementes, a handful of Maze and Aaron also. And then there was a few cards from the 1970s as well. Some of the key cards from there. You can see some of these 67s like the Steve Carlton is super sharp. Some more Maze. Veda Pinson, that one's pretty nice there. And the Tony Perez, both of these are actually high numbers from the 67 set. So if you can find 67 high number stars, they go for a really good price. They're a little more condition sensitive being in the 60s, but these ones both here were both very nice. And so I was glad picking those up. A couple Topps game cards, 68 Pete Rose. Overall was a pretty perfect lot. Like I said, I didn't have the highest expectations for this show, and they were definitely exceeded. It's just a 60 table show. Knew there wasn't going to be any insane national level dealers, but I was really glad with the stuff I was able to find. I've been to the show a few times, and this was one of the better lots I've been able to pick up. All just super fun stuff. Ended up buying this Mantle Starliner card also from 1983, I think. That one, I thought it was from a little bit earlier from the 80s, honestly, when I looked it up. But then here's some other stuff from 1970s, like Orion, Maze. And then at the end, I just picked up this Chet Holmgren. This one was a bit of a whiff. I didn't realize, I thought it was like a blue parallel. That's just, the base cards were blue, so another error on my part. But that was it for the Fishers show. Stay tuned for future videos.